So let's start. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතු සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි තතියම්පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි තතියම්පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි තතියම්පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි පානාතිපාතා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි අදින්නාදානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි කාමේසු මිච්ඡාචාරා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමා දට්ඨානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි I pay homage to the Buddha. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dhamma. I take refuge in the Sangha. For the second time, I take refuge in the Buddha. For the second time, I take refuge in the Dhamma. For the second time, I take refuge in the Sangha. For the third time, I take refuge in the Buddha. For the third time, I take refuge in the Dhamma. For the third time, I take refuge in the Sangha. I abstain from harming living beings. I abstain from taking what is not given. I abstain from sexual misconduct. I abstain from telling lies and harsh speech. I abstain from taking alcohol, intoxicating drinks, and drugs. Itipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijjacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarathi sattha deva manussanang බුද්ධෝ භගවාති ස්වාක්ඛාතෝ භගවතා ධම්මෝ සන්දිට්ඨිකෝ අකාලිකෝ ඒහි පස්සිකෝ ඕපනයිකෝ පච්චත්තං වේදිතබ්බෝ විඤ්ඤූහිති. Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Ujupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Nyayapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Samichi patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Yadidan chattari purisa yugani attha purisa puggala esa bhagavato savaka sangho ahuneyo pahuneyo dakhineyo anjali karaniyo anuttarang punyakhittang lokassati. Thus indeed is the Blessed One accomplished, fully enlightened, endowed with wisdom and virtuous conduct, sublime, pure in body, speech, and mind, knower of the worlds, unsurpassed charioteer of untamed men, teacher of gods and men, enlightened, blessed. Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One, expressible in the here and now, timeless, encouraging investigation, leading upward towards full liberation to be realized individually by the wise. Of practicing the right way are the disciples of the Buddha. Practicing the straight way are the disciples of the Buddha. Of practicing the true way to Nibbana are the disciples of the Buddha. Of practicing the proper way are the disciples of the Buddha. That is, the four pairs and 8 kinds of noble beings, disciples of the Buddha, worthy of receiving 4 requisites, worthy to receive hospitality from all quarters, worthy of offerings given out of faith, worthy of reverential salutation, unsurpassed field of merit for the world. Now let us do our meditation. Pay attention to your body when your eyes are closed and feeling less distracted. Doing some deep breathings to find a rhythm in your body. Your shoulders, sitting bones are relaxed. The skeleton in your body absorbs the weight of this body and support you in grounding, comforting, and also getting deeply rooted with the earth. May you be well and happy. May you feel peaceful and calm. May your body and mind be fully receptive to light of wisdom coming to you now through tranquility and relaxation. Relaxing the brain and membrane, letting go of any tension and tightness in your head. Your jaws are also relaxed. You have a gentle smile on your lips, keeping calmness and tranquility as your focus as much as you can. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Mindful breathing leads you to more calmness, tranquility, and composure in your experience now. Taking a long breath, you are taking a long breath, mindful, long breath, inhaling and exhaling. You sustain your attention through deep inhaling and deep exhaling, and slowly connect with the long breath and the short breath. Now become sensitive to your whole body of breath. As the breath connects with the body, you notice experiencing the whole breath body. You are mindful of breathing in and breathing out. Calming your in breath and out breath. You breathe in and you breathe out. You calm your in breath and out. With the calming of your breath, your wandering mind becomes strongly visible, noticeable to you, and you sustain your awareness to your breath as a technique to track the mind and let go of mind chatter. You stay stilled. Your awareness is on calming the breath until you feel ready to switch to the mind, gladdening your mind with any tranquility you feel. You continue your calming the breath. Let us radiate loving kindness. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm, and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another, even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child. So with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. So today, in this beautiful morning, I wanted to share a real life story that happened to my cousin brother in the past week. And this is, so be prepared that this is a little tragic situation. So far, he's doing okay. And I think there is, the whole family thinks that there is a karmic connection with what happened to him and what he did. Um, because people punish themselves not for the sin but by themselves. They punish themselves for the things they do. So nobody deserves misery, but sometimes it is just your turn. So in the recent past, he has, he's living in Sri Lanka. There is a town named Vaunia in, I think, in eastern or northern part of Sri Lanka. I'm not sure. But it's really remote. And then he went and got married there and settled. And he happened to see a white cobra, white snake in that land. And normally that is a special sign in Sri Lanka because a white snake is special. It's not that common to be seen. And the belief is that it is protecting some buried treasure in that land, so in somewhere nearby. And people do not harm any white snake normally because it is special. But my cousin brother, unfortunately, decided to show his powers and hit the snake and broke its back in one shot. And the snake went inside an ant hill and gotten hidden there. But this man went and pulled the snake and managed to beat it and kill it and burnt it. No, without, he forgot that incident and he was living a normal life. And then recently he was coming from Vaunia to Puttala, to where his parents live because it was the new year and um, normally they visit their parents for the new year. So he was riding a tuk-tuk, a three-wheeled vehicle, and he sensed that something came from behind him, and then he was like making a turn, and he went and hit a pole, a concrete pole by the side of the road, and then so it kind of ejected him off the vehicle, and his wife also was behind, and he kind of hit the ground, and the tuk-tuk fell on him and broke his spine, just the same way that it happened with this. And now he's he was, and it also broke something in his bladder. So he didn't sense it, but when he wanted to pass urine, he noticed that he was passing blood. So then they called an ambulance. His wife was completely harmed. She didn't even have a scratch, but he couldn't get up, so they called an ambulance, and then was taken to Monaragala Hospital. But Monaragala is an area that is infested with COVID patients now. So they did what they could do, and they kept him starving for like 4 days, apparently without any reason. And he was taken to Badulla Hospital, and he's there in Badulla Hospital, and doctors tried to do something, and now they say they have done what they could do, and now they are sending him back to Monaragala Hospital. And then, in the meantime, one of the family members went to a place called Devalaya. Devalaya is a place where, someone gets possessed and tell, what is happening with that person, whether their life is at risk. Some place, these places are believed by people in Sri Lanka. So when my cousin sister went to the Devalaya, one person who was possessed said it's the snake apparently spoke and said, I was killed by this man, and in the first shot it broke my spine, and then I went to hide in that ant hill, and this man pulled me out from it and killed me and burnt me. So I will not spare you. I will not let you go easily, and I will not let you get any support from anybody. So this was revealed to them, and they didn't know, the family members didn't know anything about this snake story. So they went to the hospital and asked, did you do something like this? And he said, yes. It's unbelievable that, their karma works in strange ways. And karma is a big subject in Buddhism. People are punished by what they do. This is when the Buddha has taught something like Kammang Satte Vibhajati. Karma divides people to be to have been done a karma and not have been done a karma. There is a division. There is a class. For those who never think of harming any living beings, doing any harm, being cruel to any animal, they have that nature where they don't get into accidents of this type. For those who have done harms in that manner, sometimes these karmic forces come after you, and nobody can help when these become heavily the burden in your life. Therefore, I wanted to share this story, and we are trying to help as best as we can. And when doctors say they can't do anything, he can eat, and they put a thing to pass urine. So he's, and I'm keeping him in my prayers. Even yesterday I did that. So I have been telling family, my cousin brother's family, to do good things on his name so that he gets all the support. But this is such a incident of karma uh, that could be connected just as it was revealed in the Devalaya. Karma can be cleansed. This is the most important part that I like to teach. Karma can be cleansed by doing wholesome things, but for that you need to have the intention of cleansing karma by giving life to other beings, not like in releasing birds. Sometimes those birds straight go back to the seller. Not like that, but in places where you can give life when they are stuck, and you go and you use your powers to help them. And this is such a cleansing of your own karma. And sacrificing part of your food habits could uh, cleanse karmic bonds. And I was looking into quotes about karma. So one quote that I shared earlier is, men are not punished for their sins, but by them. So men are not, punished for their sin, but by them. Sin they do, um, come back and punish them in a strange way. Because any being, when they have a precious life, they want to live. They have their own intention of living. And then, if anybody does any harm out of fear, out of insecurity, you harm that being, you have taken control of that being's life. And this is the cruelest thing that a wise human being can do to any being. Therefore, in this lesson of karma, there was this story. There is, this is famous story. There was a bunch of children harming a snake. And the Buddha went to those children and asked, did this snake harm you? And the children say, no. Then why do you try to control its life? Let it go. And there's another story when, playfully a bunch of guys saw, what is it called? An iguana go into an ant hill. Playfully, they closed the hole and they forgot about it. Later in their life, when they were monks meditating, a huge, they were inside of a cave. Huge stone came and blocked their entrance. And in that past life experience, they suddenly realized what they had done, and they removed the cover of that ant hill and they pulled out the starving iguana. And it took 7 days, just the same way, when in a later life, for others to break that stone and open the cave so that they can be released. And you can also take Venerable Moggallana's story when he beated his parents in a previous life, pretending like robbers were beating them. And his parents were like, please don't harm my son. He's innocent, let him go. We are older, you can do anything to us. But this karma came after Moggallana, later when he became an arahant, the most powerful monk with psychic abilities, second only to the Buddha. And then he kept trying to escape, but those bandits were coming after and somehow looking for him. And then he surrendered eventually and he was beaten and gotten killed. So karma is like that. If you had any intention of harming living beings, and that can come after you at strangest time, even in the last lifetime. So this is why we take the first precept, not harming any living beings. And even stronger, if you do any harm to your mother, father, an arahant, the Buddha, or you cause schism, split the Sangha. So with that, I ask you to open any thoughts that you want to share with karma. I like to know, and that will be the end of today's session.
I guess with karma, I always kind of think about it because it's like you don't want anything bad to happen to anyone else, but you also have to live life as positively as you can. And even like the situation that I'm in myself, like I feel as though karma is I don't know, it's such a motivator for me because it does kind of make me become more empathetic to people. Like I don't want those bad onuses on myself. I don't want the bad energy. I don't want those things. So I try to do good and I want to do good by others and relay that positive message. Um, but sometimes I think with karma it kind of becomes hard because you are you're not orchestrating something bad to happen to someone, but I guess you're more so watching what you do versus what someone else does. And you kind of have to lead by example in order to continue to get that good karma. And that's what I tell people, like karma comes in good and bad forms. And that's something really important for me, I guess, to understand because, when you do good and then the people around you don't do good, it can become kind of defeating because you're not sure, how what's going to happen to you. But I guess that's the unknown. But being a good person is just something that should internally be embedded in all of us. And it's interesting that you told that story, and I appreciate you for telling that story today.
Thank you. And karma as a motivator. I think that's a good perspective to have. Putting things into good perspective helps us. And you also mentioned about good karma. Yes, we were talking about all the bad karma people did, but good karma also comes to you. To have been done good karma in life brings you rewarding experiences in unexpected ways. That you never go hungry, that there will be food coming to you, and that things will be smooth at tough times, and you will figure things out, and always there is a refuge for you. So that kind of thing happens when you have that mindfulness, awareness of good karma, that you create a good karmic energy for yourself. It's a gift you are giving to yourself for a good life. But not harming any being, and also not harming yourself included. This is good karma. And when you do something, you don't intend any harm to anybody. That way you have a clean energy in you. So it will not entangle you in trouble. Sometimes, even if it does, you will overcome it without much weight, without much trouble in you. Thank you. Any other thoughts?
Hamudruni, in every moment, if we have the positive, the good attitude, that is going to be a good force for the next moment.
Yes. Can you do that?
I am trying my best.
It sounds very, it sounds doable, but also it requires so much attention and mindfulness. So thank you for sharing that. It's not impossible, but it requires that practice and awareness to continuously continue paying attention to what can I do to better myself, and next moment will be better. Especially during the pandemic, when I hear sometimes school children, they don't feel encouraged in school, in doing schoolwork. They are like locked behind these walls, and they don't feel like they are progressing at all. So I have been counseling them, and I teach them, to become aware of this experience and laugh, smile. Laughter brings joy to you, and next moment will be joyful. Habitually, they can, bring good hormones into their system. Anything else?
With respect, if I may, Hamudruni, I'd like to share a small story from a past incident I faced. This was a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago. I actually met with an accident, and which I believe was saved very miraculously. However, what happened was I was walking my way back home after work, and as a habit, I usually chant Metta Sutta on the way back as I walk, morning and evening. This was at night though, but I tend to practice that habit. And as I was crossing the road, I was hit by a car where when it hit me, I flew a couple of feet and fell down. And then yet the car came ramming at me and went across my left leg, ripping my boots, and literally stopped right next to my head. And if miraculously I didn't have any injury,
Mm,
tiny scratch, I
mm,
was able to stand up, walk back home. And I know at the very moment I was getting hit, I was still chanting the Metta Sutta. So I sincerely believe that it's the power of the sutta.
mm,
You know that the rewards of metta,
mm,
that you are being watched for, you are being cared for by devas, and
mm,
because even the doctors could not understand or believe how I survived without a broken bone with an accident of that magnitude. So I think it's the energy, it's the mind, it's the vibes that you radiate that comes in and protects you. And funny enough, um, like this, there have been several other incidents that I've come across, and which I really believe have been there only due to the power of the positive thoughts and vibes that can get radiated, and the power of the sutta that has been there for so many years. I still wonder, because I'm not perfect, I've sinned and I have my flaws, but yet to be protected, I just always feel so much of great respect and continued awe towards the great kindness and compassion that has been given to us by Lord Buddha. So I have a very special and a soft spot for Metta Sutta because of that. So yeah, that's a little story I wanted to share. Just like the bad karma comes after you, I think if you place your mind and thoughts in good karma and emit goodness to the world, it comes back to protect you.
Thank you, Sarupa. So you must be an iron woman to survive that kind of an impact. And
It was unfortunate because you probably know the person too a little. After a couple of months, I got to hear a similar incident faced by someone known to us, and he passed away, unfortunately.
Mhm,
It
mhm,
was as similar to
mhm,
this. So they're not bad people, they're good people, but I guess
mhm,
it's all karma.
mhm. Yeah, so this is, intention, like you were radiating good vibes to the universe, and mind's power could not be exceeded by the force of that impact of the, and also that man, whoever was driving, I think you saved their life too, that they will, in a way, like, and trust maybe they learned their lesson and they didn't continue driving recklessly like that later in their life, hopefully. But thank you for sharing that. It's a great reminder for us to think that when you live according to Dharma, Dharma protects you. Yesterday I was talking to a Buddhist American nun. She's 72. She and I have been working closely since 2013, and she now lives in India. So in Andhra Pradesh, and I asked her, like, how do you get support? And she said, Dharma protects me. Dharma looks after me. And I am doing pretty well so far. And that's so that was very nice when she said that. And it's the case with the Buddha's teaching that when you are in good dharma and you have that attention in your mind, it saves you, it protects you in surprisingly unexpected. So this is also a great story, so that it tells you to every one of us, to be in metta, in friendliness, in radiating loving friendliness to the universe when you're on the go, even on the road. Things will be better, or before you go to bed, or when you wake up. Things will be, you will have protection from the devas, divine beings, heavenly beings. They know you are a good person. They want to be around you. Yeah, those are benefits of having loving kindness. There's such protection, stronger than any other protective charms that you know. All right, so yes, Dawn, wonderful and inspiring stories and sharings. Thank you all. Thank you for saying that. So Harold, what is your story? No kidding. I'm just wrapping up now, unless you have other things to share.
I have a question.
Mhm.
It's interesting. Last week that he mentioned the retreat for next
Mhm.
week. Is that still? How do you go about signing up for the retreat, or when will you be returning to in person
Oh, that's a great
meditation
question.
classes?
So it is happening, and what we decided later was to do it half day at the Fonseca Community Center, and um, you can come to Fonseca Community Center. We will be there, and you will have your protective, your everything, mask and sanitizer. We also have sanitizer there, and we will practice 1 meter distance. And what day did we? It was 9th, right? No, 8th. Do you remember the date? I
I
don't
believe
have
it
the
was
calendar.
the 8th.
8th, right? On Saturday, right?
Yes, I think you
Yeah,
said the
8th Saturday. So yeah, so that's happening on that day. I think you can come by 8:30. And is that the time Bhante Sankita mentioned before?
I can't remember the time. I just remember the date.
I don't want to give the wrong time, but why don't you, do you have our email address? You can email us.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will confirm the time. So it is happening, but because of increasing of COVID cases, people, so we decided to do it like half day, and the remaining part of the day they can go home and meditate there. But in even half day is enough for any any trouble to happen, but hopefully we won't get kind of trouble. Anyway, so
But you be doing it by Zoom as well, or is it
we
only?
will be doing it by Zoom as well. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else? So
It does say 8:30 on the website. I just looked it up.
So let's transfer merits. May the suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and the sick find health and relief. May good things happen to all beings. May the devas rejoice in our good karma and protect all of us and this world. May all beings find relief from suffering. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Happy Saturday, happy meditation. See you on another time.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, Bhante.
Good
Thank
to
you.
Thank you, Bhante.